Bite the pillow. We're going in dry. What's up, everybody? Hey, by the way, Kay, I need vegetarian beef jerky when it's time. Beyond makes a really nice teriyaki. I said it. God, K. Can only hear me, huh? Okay, cool. One sec. Okay, that should fix it. Say words.
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 Let me turn y'all down. Holy shit. There you go. There we go.
Words.
There we go. Good.
No, you told us to say words, so we did.
I did. I did. Thank you very much. This is what's called a sound test.
Testing.
Yes, thank you very much. I really
Red
appreciate
leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather.
it. Okay.
Brown baby bumper sheets.
I deeply enjoy my Discord just deciding to crash.
I see that.
I was wondering why we lost and came back, so I was, having a cat yell at me to go fix that.
There we go. And there we go. We got Doug back.
Haha. Technical difficulties. Welcome to the show, folks. We have these every single week. I hope you're ready.
We're all
Let's not type
professional.
anything into the chat so we can just have drug dealers or an old lady.
I love drug dealers and ladies.
Nobody type anything. Don't you dare cast a spell or nothing.
Oh my goodness. All right. Okay. Well, with that a lovely introduction by going out live and the shenanigans that occurred in the chat that I had no control over, I swear.
Okay,
It's like I'm getting a
please.
second personality or something.
Okay, please. You owe all of us and Leah beef jerky.
Only beef jerky. Well, you know what, guys? It's a good thing that there is a Bucky's opening up near my work soon.
Why is that a good thing? You can get
That means
beef
I can get
jerky
you
in
some
a
beef
lot of
jerky.
places.
Yeah, I can get some really good beef jerky at Bucky's, which you can't get easily.
I got through saying, oh, are you making fun of me for not having a Bucky's nearby? Is that what this
Yes.
is? Is
Yes,
this the
that's exactly what this
longest
is.
possible grab at an own that you could come up with right now?
You get paid by Bucky's?
Yes, clearly I am. It's not the worst one I could have come up
What
with.
is
It's
on
certainly
that
not the
Bucky's
best.
action? I got kids.
What the hell's a Bucky's?
That's what I was thinking.
I assume it's some sort of like
It's a
grocer.
it's a
Beef
mass.
jerky.
It is a
Is it
massive
jerky
freaking
emporium?
gas station. That's all it is.
Basically. The people in the South are wildly obsessed with, and yeah. Because, they have the cleanest bathrooms in the country, apparently, for truck stops.
Doubt.
We have gas stations called Come and Go. So
Yeah, Come and Go is way better. Because it's called
It's
Come
certainly a
and Go.
better name.
Eat gas now.
What is it? The world's largest truck stop is near Doge.
yeah, it's
That
not too
place
far
has got
from
pretty
me.
clean bathrooms.
It's totally a
stop
Starfinder
there
name.
for an
See,
hour.
look at all the Starfinder going on in the background.
In the
There's
background,
stars.
as we're getting ready to play. There's
Wow.
stars in the background. There's a ship.
Oh, found them.
Hey, yeah, we win. We won. Look, I found the
We
stars.
win.
They're right there.
We are the first people to ever make that joke.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, Kay, great solution for the doors being in space, by the way, just deleting them.
There are no
this-
doors in this
This isn't even
space.
close to accurate anyway, so This map needs a lot of work. I only had 5 minutes. I did the best I could.
Hey, ST did a great job on this map.
You did a
okay?
fantastic job. I love this thing.
I just never sent it.
Imagine putting things off until the last moment for the podcast.
Wouldn't be me. Wouldn't be me.
Oh yeah. No, I think Kaz missed my smart joke earlier today in another Discord. Yeah, I would never put things out to the last minute. I certainly didn't upload the episode that we released today at midnight when it's due to release at 5 a.m.
That's, you got 5 hours.
It was on time.
That's pretty bad, Kay.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
All right, so anyway, so I think hey. What do you say we get back on topic?
Probably should at some point.
You're running the show,
We should
Cap.
probably just. I don't think it's get back on topic. We should probably just get on topic at this point.
Here, right. Let's rein it in. Let's bring us in for the night. All right. Good evening and welcome to a shiny new episode of Dude, Where's My Drift? The actual play Starfinder show that teaches us all valuable lessons about alien anatomy, scientific inaccuracies, and how to tease your friends and get away with near-mass murder. I'm your host, the Galactic Menace, running the shindig, your friendly neighborhood K, and I am here to introduce my 5 fine friends and players alike. First up, he's out here live testing the thesis behind his autobiography, the succinctly titled The Effectiveness of Medical Stimulants and Other Barbiturates When Injected from a Cartridge-Powered Delivery Device at a Distance. Written by Dr. Sam Lee A. Olin, played by Doge.
Now you know I'm not played by a real slug.
This massive 3-volume mix of philosophical musings and an exotic cookbook, aptly titled I Eat, Therefore I Am Not, involves a deep dive into nihilism as well as the culinary approaches to preparing all sorts of aliens, written and proved and tested by Simber, played by Kaz.
Hi.
This absolutely tearjerker of a bestseller, detailing the nitty-gritty emotion of his rise and fall through the Akatonian Elite Wrestling League. Grand Mammy Wept, Tales of Triumph Through Adversity. Topped the Absalom Station bestseller list for an astonishing 24 weeks. That's right, folks, we got the story of Captain Gator, played by Clue.
What's up with them residual checks, though?
Good luck in
And I
this
got
one,
fucked by that
Avatar.
publisher.
And lastly, this thick tome on the theological portents and debates as to what defines sentience and how it relates to the pantheon of gods and gears dives into one SRO's past and life as a priest of the Church of Triune before they venture out into the galaxy to find some answers. This was written by the summoning maestro himself, Treb, played by ST.
Now you know that I am actually a robot.
And unlike
you know,
me, you don't just play one on TV.
Exactly. We're doing all sorts of things tonight, folks. And just, for those who are curious and wanting to be in the know, my autobiography would be absolutely titled as Insert Song Lyric Here.
Okay, why?
Yeah.
Come on, give us more to go on.
Well, that's all you get. Just insert song lyric here. I guess you could subtitle it as A Life Lived by One Lyric at a Time.
I'd read it. Or I'd at least read the back cover.
I mean, alternate
You're not gonna
thought
read the back
processes
cover.
on this one was also Coffee and Tabletop Games, a Forever GM story to burn out and back again.
I'm surprised you didn't mention addiction in there somewhere.
I mean,
Hey, Kay, how many
What are the
games a
two
week are you
ominous?
running?
we don't need to go into that today.
It's relatable, though.
Yeah.
Look, I had like 2 nights off last week. It was great.
2 whole nights. Wow.
Yeah, 2 whole nights off last week. Oh, I do have one other possible title for my
Single dad of
autobiography.
podcasting and TTRPGs. just burning at all the different ends that I can. Just trying to keep it on the rails, man.
See, now everyone who is seeing our faces, beautiful faces for the first time, they also get to realize just how often we all have cats present and accounted for on the stream.
And
'Cause,
then
you know.
there's me.
We have stream pets.
Kitty.
And then there's Kaz over there. No,
Then you
puppers
also get
too
to see
foul.
how often I eat while we record.
I'm also
You
depressingly
keep food in your mouth,
petless.
you don't click the pin, so just keep eating, buddy.
Gonna tag the stream as a mukbang stream next week.
Hey, there we go. Well, I'll just chow down. But all right. So who haven't I picked on lately? SD. What happened last time?
All I remember is that we talked to a butterfly who said we're gonna go. God. Oh no, there was also the AI tried to take over our ship. We were like, please don't. We said that back and forth for a while, and then they didn't. They switched bodies and they took over what used to be Aegis's body. Are you still called Aegis? What's going on there?
Wait, does this still work? Hang on. Is this the right
Will
one?
it still work? For what?
Is this the right voice?
No.
No, we're
Just
saying a
you.
regular voice.
Is your right button split? Yes.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
A little bit deeper than normal.
Yeah, it's harder to
Yeah.
hear or understand.
I can't win. I had my own audio technical issues, so
It's been a long week.
it has been a very long week. I would assume that Aegis would go by Korra these days.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, Korra and Aegis switched positions. And then a butterfly came and said, hey, come on, it's time to go meet God. And by God, I mean Desna.
Meet a god at least.
Oh wow.
A God.
Yeah.
A cool God.
God of dreams and things.
Dreams,
Pretty rad.
butterflies, the stars. Yeah. Luck. She's the goddess of luck.
I mean, she has a whole
That's
list of
right,
stuff.
yeah.
She's the goddess of travelers too. Very
Yeah.
apropos for
One of them.
what you guys are doing here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Let's all get matching butterfly tattoos. We can have them laser etched on you guys.
Treb's into it.
I mean, for those who have listened to a lot of our special backstory podcast episodes that we've released every 5, there's been a few hints here and there about some divine influence in your guys' history.
We all have a walk with Christ.
Almost like your path has been guided or something. It's you know.
I feel like Simber's backstory is a little bit
There
more
was only
Old
one
Testament.
set of footprints.
Simber might not be. Simber might be a wild flag in this, given other things we've discussed of late. But you know,
I accidentally gave Kay ideas, guys.
accidentally my ass.
Accidentally.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do not believe the accidentally part.
Look, I never intend to give Kay options on how to destroy the universe. Okay.
You just do. But all right. So when we ended last time, I said the servant of Desna, a creature that's known as a cynogerm, which is like it's not a real being, sort of. It's like created out of pure magic, so it is a magical creature that constantly shifts shape, evolving from like a flower into a butterfly and back again. This particular one introduced itself as Crimson Caprice.
Ooh.
No, it's just yes, which is a very fitting
Random,
name
yeah, crazy.
given its
Crimson Caprice.
appearance here, and I just really like this artwork, so I'm going to show it to everybody again.
Ooh.
It's very
Yeah,
cool.
that is so lovely. If we are getting butterfly tattoos, I suggest we just get that.
Why wouldn't you? You're not going to knock.
But yes, and they indicated that a path would be open for you to go to the planet of Cynoshore, which I don't remember. Did anyone actually roll a check about that last week?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
Hey, anyone want to roll mysticism? See what we might know about Cynoshore?
Hey, that sounds like something I can do.
Can Trev also just like take 10 on it because I've already spent like a week researching Desna?
Sure.
So that's a 20 or 24.
Good. Because I got a 19. I don't
Awesome.
get to start rolling good anymore.
I mean, that's a 6 on the die. You still got a 19. That's not that bad.
Yeah,
It's a 6 on the die, though, Kay.
It's fine, minor details. So, the two of you know that well, Cynoshore is kind of a planet. It's also kind of not really a planet. Once upon a time, it was once seen as the as the pole star of Lost Galarian, the planet that the Pathfinder side of the universe here for Visal's products is located on. It is said to be equidistant from all systems that worship the goddess. So no matter where you are in space, you are always the exact same amount of travel time from Cynoshore. What that means about its exact location is kind of a mystery. It doesn't really make sense in the grand scheme of science and space travel, but there it is.
Yeah, well, it's a goddess, so makes sense that there's just kind of some weirdness. It's not entirely material; it's divine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure enough, as you all agreed to accompany Crimson Caprice and go meet this goddess, in front of the Primarata, a portal opened up, unfolding like a flower petal greeting the sun in early spring, and you were able to travel forward through it. And just like any other time that you have traveled from one point in space to another on board the Primarata, how just kind of it's instantaneous versus the long, rugged jump of a drift engine. Within moments, you find yourselves emerging into the atmosphere of a world that is both serene and strange. There are dusky glades, crystalline forests, and clear pools that stretch beneath a lavender sky of perpetual stars. A cityscape of fluted crystal towers and domes rise from the tranquil landscape, forming impossible configurations of breathtaking beauty.
Ooh.
At the center of the glittering city stands a palace of iridescent crystal crowned with 7 spires.
Cool.
We're in an Edvard Munch painting.
Why does it look like the Congress?
It's like Edward Munch does the congressional building.
But yeah, the Cynogerm, Crimson Caprice, is able to kind of direct Sid towards a spaceport that is located on the outskirts of this massive city that just, in some ways and to some extent, kind of defies like standard building practices, essentially. The spaceport itself is decorated with like twinkling star-like motes of light. It's like picture fairy lights, but across an entire massive spaceport for ships to dock and undock and travel in and out from. And as you all kind of disembark following this flower butterfly creature, these twinkling motes kind of move around to surround you. And Trev, with your mysticism check, you're kind of able to know that this is some kind of sign of indicating like you all are allowed and invited to be here, that you're invited guests of Desna.
Yeah, Trev is like visibly vibrating with excitement. You can like hear the sounds of his like gears bouncing around.
It's a good thing we have him on silent.
Trev on a dyno, get him checked out.
But like, how are y'all kind of feeling about this though?
This
Like,
place
this
is
is
incredibly busy. I don't like it.
It is a lot.
Saves.
Well, let's just all stick together, okay? I know we're excited, but just hang. You can lead the way, Trev, but stay near us. Don't go taking off.
Talking to Trev like a child when you're like taking them into Disney World, like, okay, now listen up, kiddo. I know you're excited, but you need to stay close. And that's absolutely the right play because Trev will definitely just run off if you don't stop him.
Got a little
see it.
backpack leash on him.
Yeah.
Quickly just have Simber tie a little rope around Treb's waist.
His wheels are just picking up dirt and debris. And it's just Gators just
Easy
got
now,
him.
buddy. Come on, chill out.
But yeah, Crimson Caprice will kind of laugh a little bit at Trev's like just wanting to go everywhere, and they kind of chime in to the group of you that you are among Desna's chosen. You must hurry; she is waiting. But never fear, there's plenty of time to explore after meeting with her. She performs a graceful twirl and flies through the starlit street.
Yeah, Trev will stay as close behind as they can.
Following.
Like Trev wants to explore, but Trev's mostly excited about talking to a goddess.
Yeah, we're about to talk to a god. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Trev was a priest of a god that is like MIA right now, where shit's weird. And
That ain't shit. Biscuit compared to we meeting a goddess.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
yeah,
Our
That's
goddess is
definitely-
tasty.
Trev will like stop for a moment and look at you and just go, "Don't,
Oh, I wouldn't.
But what if I
dare
ask
try.
nicely?
don't."
But,
She'll,
but
she's a
yummy.
goddess. You realize. Like, we'll get you some fruit on the way or something.
Mm,
You don't need to go stacking on gods. That's not a good idea.
you're
That's how
telling
you
me.
get smoked. You want to
You're
get smoked?
telling me if you had the opportunity, you wouldn't want to sneak a bite.
Yeah, I like barbecue and things. I don't really need to eat people like you do. It's weird.
But gods aren't people.
That's fair. That's a fair argument. You know what? Let me think about it. This is a philosophical argument that I didn't find myself really wanting to approach right now in this moment.
This
Trev
We're
will
about
change
to meet
tack.
God.
Please don't.
Oh my goodness.
Please just be good.
Please don't.
fine.
Please.
Fine, I won't because Trev asked nicely.
Thank you. And then
Thank you,
Trev will turn around and continue following.
What if it was a bad god?
Alright.
Could I do it then?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. You can. That's fine. We'll
Mm,
burn that bridge when we come to it, okay?
bad by whose definition, I wonder.
I mean, does Simba really have
We'll
a
go
sense
pick a
of
fight with the
good and bad?
meanest god there is, and then you can eat them, okay? I promise.
Simber can manifest a sense of good and bad if it means that she gets a meal out of it.
She does follow her more base urges, doesn't she?
Gatekeep girl boss gaslight, bro.
Okay. So you guys are able to make follow Crimson Caprice through the city. And they giggle occasionally at this conversation happening behind them, but they don't really make that much commentary besides just occasionally urging you to make sure that you do follow along. And eventually, they lead you to what seems to be a bright, airy cafe with a balcony surrounded by a tiered vegetable garden, and a whimsical hand-painted sign in the shape of a butterfly hangs over the front door, reading the Stardust Cafe. On the balcony, seated amongst lush flowers and fluttering butterflies, is an elven woman whose appearance kind of subtly warps ever so slightly as you all kind of take a moment to observe and watch her.
I like your
Kinda
garden.
changes between
I have a garden.
subtly like beautiful and just kind of strange a little bit. And as you all kind of approach this elven woman dressed with dusky skin and a waterfall of just midnight blue hair, her eyes kind of take you all in with flickering silver light, and she just smiles at you guys before turning to the server, who is depositing a tray full of fluted glasses at her table. Thank you, Suli. She says to the server. Go ahead and everybody roll me a quick perception check as you're kind of observing the scene a little bit.
Can do. Uh, 22 perception for Sam Lee.
22 perception for Trev.
15 for Gator.
I rolled a 17. The doctor rolled a 9.
Hey, 26 for Simber.
Hey yo!
I got a good roll at last.
Huzzah! You did it. All right. As you kind of all observe this little scene, you notice that the elven woman, there's what seems to be a dusting of glittering freckles across her bare shoulders, and they kind of look almost like the faint glowing of distant stars. And as you kind of take a slightly longer look at them, you notice that the pattern of them kind of shifts ever so slightly. And some of them get a little bit brighter, some get a little bit darker, almost as if she actually is a little bit made out of some kind of stardust matter, something honestly a little bit beyond just standard scientific understanding for how this being is here before you. And she kind of waves her hand a little bit, and then suddenly there's enough chairs and place settings there for all of you to just kind of grab a seat around the table with her.
Simber's gonna hop up into her very large chair.
And hey, any of you who are down resolve points and stamina points and out of spell slots, you get them all back.
Oh.
Well, I'm not. That's not fair.
Well, I'm not either.
What do I get?
Did you? We haven't had a long rest yet since you finished that last combat.
Yeah, but Simber wasn't in the last combat.
No. But,
I definitely healed my resolve points because I thought we did have a night. I did not do spell slots.
You can't eat the god, and you can't get these spell slots back.
I don't get anything out of this. I don't even get a chair for me. I have to sit in this big old huge chair and stand at the table. I hate this. Besides, if she's made of stars, I've already eaten her.
Gator sends his tail over to your seat and boosts you up. So that you're sitting
Uwu
far
sits on Gator's tail cutely.
I'm pretty sure you guys didn't have a long rest, so you do quickly. But hey, I don't remember some of the minute details we go through at the end of the sessions. It's not like I ever re-listen to these things again.
It's always nice to feel like you got some sleep.
Yeah, it is. No idea what that's like. Anyway.
Don't you wish you could just open your character sheet and click a button and say, take a long rest?
Yeah.
God, that would be the dream, wouldn't it?
Yeah. That's why we roleplay, to experience these things that we can't experience in real life.
Yes, exactly.
Anytime anybody asks me what my favorite superpower is, it's the Zach Morris timeout. Just fucking time out for a little bit. Just go take a nap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, anyway, after you all are able to get seated, she continues. Hello at last. It's quite lovely to have you here in Sinosure. Please join me. Brunch at the Stardust Cafe is simply, if you'll pardon the word, divine. Which is why I invited you here.
That's fun.
As she's speaking, her voice kind of takes on the timbre of fluttering wings, and her appearance just kind of subtly shifts before you guys. Her eyes turn compound and insectile, and great wings protrude from her shoulders. This alien appearance is somehow just no less beautiful, though, than her elven form. But then, in a moment, she is that freckled elf once again. I am Desna, but I'm sure you've guessed that by now. I've been following your adventures from afar, and goodness, omniscience is an awkward thing to flaunt at a first meeting. So Oh, but no, tell me about yourselves. I feel like I know all of you by now from watching, but watching from afar is not quite the same as meeting you in person. And well, you don't really know me yet either. She winks and takes a sip of her drink.
I'm immediately suspicious.
Sense motive.
I'm immediately incredibly suspicious at this moment. Right now.
All right, roll sense motive.
Making me do stuff. Ha! 22.
Simber, being in the presence of this personage before you kind of instills upon you a sense of just peace that you have not felt.
Okay, I'm even more
very
suspicious
long
now.
time. It's just, how can I explain this for you?
This doesn't help. You're not telling me that something's wrong here. You're telling me I feel okay. You're not telling me if something's wrong or not.
It reminds
Oh,
you
shit.
of
You
the
can explore that
time
in therapy.
before you kind of came to on an empty, abandoned starship with everybody around you that you have ever known dead.
Uh-huh.
It kind of brings that kind of same sense of purpose back to you.
I don't know, man. Having a feeling of like one of the greatest traumas in my character's life would not help put them at ease.
No, not not the trauma itself. This is like taking you back before that. When things were happy and good, when you had that purpose coming up in your life that you were excited for, when you were at peace with yourself.
Okay. I'm still
You get
suspicious,
food,
but I am
players,
no
you
longer
never peace
pursuing it.
with yourself. Easy either. What's that mean?
Gator, yes, there are indeed bottomless mimosas. Honestly, as you take a glance over the menu here that's presented, this kind of appears before you. Not even have to scan a QR code or anything. It's just suddenly you have a menu before you and it's open, and you look at it, and it's just your favorite dishes.
Oh no.
Excited.
Oh
Which-
no.
It's truly bizarre to consider with Simber here, because your favorite dishes are on your menu as well.
Oh no.
Remember,
Huh, I guess that
I think we died.
I guess they do. I guess they do serve people here.
So what? I feel like I need a question to answer for the masses here.
sorry.
What is Simber's favorite food?
Oh gosh. More Simber.
That
I
would
feel like it's got to be not necessarily like a person type, but like maybe within, I don't know,
Is
some
it
sort of like
it's
feeling that they had.
it's literally
Verified.
just bananas. Everybody else has like 50 items on their menu of things that they've enjoyed during their lifetime. Simber has one entry, bananas.
So much potassium in her body.
That raises some other questions. I'm not sure I want to answer at this point.
I think this would be one of those times where Simber opens the menu, sees what's on it, closes it immediately, and looks around like, "Ah, fuck, they know."
They know.
My secret.
Hey, quick, Gator, roll me a perception check.
Please.
And I guess Kaz, roll sleight of hand.
8 on the dice for a 13. You don't have to worry about it. I'm sure.
I don't know.
You can't read so good anymore.
Gator, you are able to catch a glimpse
Branus.
of Simber's
I don't know
menu.
what Brandon says, but I'm pretty sure Simber ate that.
Jokes aside, the menu does not actually have names of dishes on there. It has names of people. Simber's looking reasonably. She'd close
Frank Abernathy.
She'd close it immediately and look around and go, "Huh, weird. I think I got handed the sign-in sheet."
What up? What would be on Treb's menu?
I don't know. I've been trying to think about it because Trev doesn't eat.
Hot spicy gifts.
10W40.
Yeah, it's a bunch of fucking spicy memes.
I was thinking like
It's just
pure energy or something.
It's just food dot no food dot rar, things like that. Consumables dot zip.
Some fancy motor oil for your wheel and some hydraulic fluid for your wheel.
Come on, that's like saying you eat lotion.
Yeah, are you not supposed to eat lotion? I need to go talk to a doctor.
Yeah, you should.
I mean, there's drinks on that menu too, so like,
Why name it after food if it's not food?
I mean, I'm sure we can all guess what a Gator's food is.
Is it ice cream?
Vanilla ice cream
That's from the dessert menu.
and sweet tea.
Sweet tea is always on the menu.
I feel like you want a stew. You a stew kind of captain?
Jambalaya.
Some kind of chicken menu.
Oh no, didn't really have a lot of birds. Faster growing toads would eat them.
That's round toads are probably on the menu.
Faster growing toad is
Some chocolate covered capex.
if you stick a faster growing toad in the ground and cook that son of a bitch all damn day, it just fall right off them bones, and it's just so divine.
What about you, Samly?
It's an easy answer for me. Noodles. He likes his noodles.
So, is anybody actually ordering food while you're having this conversation, or are you all just going to sit there awkwardly and just stare at this goddess who's waiting expectantly for you guys to kind of talk?
Sam Lee will order something because that was one of the things I wanted to do was find a noodle shop. So now that I'm here.
Hey, there you go.
I feel like Treb is awkwardly like staring at the menus so that they're not staring at Desna, and then just like periodically staring at Desna for too long, and then like looking at the menu again, but not really saying anything yet.
He looks at you unblinkingly.
It's like there's somebody very attractive in the room, but you don't want to just like stare at them, so you're like subtly like.
Gator is absolutely staring at him.
So
I want you to know that.
without ordering anything, Simber would definitely look at her and go,
Okay, so if you've been watching, then, like, what could you possibly want to know?
Well, you see, I've only been watching you in certain points of your life. I may be able to see anywhere through time and space, but I cannot see everything all at once. It would be quite distracting, shall we say.
Treb will just blurt out, I'm Treb. I'm a robot. You knew that. Yeah. How are you?
Yeah. Who are you? Oh, wait, I know.
Just kidding. I know that you're a goddess.
It's like he's getting ready for his first date or something.
I just want to point out at the top of the screen it says "Date with Desna."
It does.
So like that is kind of what's happening.
specifically speaking to Treb.
Stamps on Simber's foot. Shut up.
She kind of turns and zeroes in on you for a moment. Treb's like, yes, I remember I've spoken with you before. I'm not sure if you remember that, but
I remember. Sorry, you weren't done speaking. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's quite all right. I see that you're doing quite well, though. How have you found the Church of Triune during your time there?
It was a lot. It was nice. They tried to do good things, but there was a lot of bureaucracy.
I guess you could call them siblings. They certainly have ways they'd prefer to see things done that they have found most logical. If only their followers had all the same concepts of what was logical versus not, I suppose you could say.
And Trev just like nods, like, yes, I could say.
Sam Lee,
Shit.
when you get the noodles delivered to you and you take your first bite,
I'm
you
so
just
sorry. Please continue. I'm so sorry for my background noise.
Oh, that's fine. Like Sam Lee, it takes you back as soon as you take a bite of these noodles, because these things taste just like your brothers.
Yeah, that's the sad moment I was waiting for.
Fuck, gang. God.
Yeah. Sam Lee just he's like visibly relaxes in the chair. Like you just see like tension disappear almost.
And
Cues up, if you will.
Hmm?
He just kind of goes to goo.
No, he just like you just see him visibly relaxed.
Like
Starts
that-
acting all sluggish.
like kind of like that feeling of like just a long day and you get home and you're able to just finally sit back and relax in your favorite chair and you just hit it and you just slump all the way down, like the worst posture in the world.
Yep. Yeah, that I mean, we've had some pretty long days over the past couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. You guys really have.
That is true.
And she kind of looks over at you at that, and she just nods her head ever so slightly to the side. It's like, I hope you don't mind the liberty we took. I had the chefs prepare that special for you today, Doctor.
They are just like he used to make. They're fantastic. Salt free, right?
Of course. I do not want to cause harm.
You see through a hole in your lip.
I need you to roll a fortitude save.
Yeah, just leave it to it. Just no reason whatsoever. Just make a roll fortitude save real quick.
It's
unrelated.
It's unrelated. Let's see what would happen. Oh, it settled on a 1 for almost a second.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Nothing happens.
Can't imagine those noodles being all that good, salt free. To be honest with you, I gotta be like, no, fam, that's not good noodles.
Well, if it's poison for you, you kind of learn how to get around it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, sure
it's just full of MSG at that point.
There you go.
That's an MSG.
Monosodium is fine.
It's just the
Sodium
sauce is where
chloride,
you
that's
really
the
get
problem.
flavor in.
Yeah.
It's where you get the sauce, though. That's where you get the real, like, that's the flavor that comes in these things. As I said, you've had quite some stressful time. But, you know, it's good that while you are at the worst days of your life, when things are the most stressful, that's when you really need to just find that thing that just settles your spirit home. That's part of what I've brought you here for.
So are we dead? Is that why we're here?
Oh no, you're not dead. I mean, do you feel like you've perished? I know there was a rough combat there among the Solarians on the final horizon, but
Yeah, I shot at him.
Never been dead before. Don't know what it feels like.
I'm going to show you that you're not dead yet. Hopefully, you won't ever be, but... Well, I suppose you're mortal, so eventually yes, but you know what I mean, of course.
Yeah, I was about to say, you need to walk back that never dying thing.
It's very reassuring comments.
Indeed. I mean, but well, obviously I can't see the future, but I've gotten a few clues here and there during my time, my days. I don't think you have much to worry about just yet.
So when will we have something to worry about here?
She kind of looks at you again, Simber, and is there nothing on the menu to your liking? You haven't ordered anything.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that you probably know that everything on the menu is something that I would definitely like to eat again, but none of it's anything that I would order in polite company.
I suppose that is true. It was a little concerning, the things that we were trying to find to provide for you what you desire.
Yeah, how'd that
I
go?
understand. I will say it's probably not the real thing you're actually expecting, but it's the closest approximation we could find for you.
Just imagining Simber ordering herself off the menu and being given just a literal head of cabbage.
No, she's only given an artichoke.
It's just an artichoke, yeah.
Yeah.
Cooked artichoke with spice.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm not ordering anything, to be honest with you. I'm hungry, but, you know, approximations don't help.
Well, I'm sure you still have something left on board your ship if you decide to get hungry later.
I don't like that thought. Guys, I don't know how to put this, but I kind of feel uncomfortable with all this serenity around. Like, what? Okay, so are we here just so that you can, you know, smooth talk us and make Trav and Stan Lee turn to butter, or what? Why are we here?
Oh, well, I suppose if you want to cut straight to the chase, as I said, I would like to have gotten to know you all a little better, spend some time talking, and give you a chance to get to know me. But, as I'm sure you're quite aware, there are terrible things happening all across the galaxy at the moment. There's just so many travelers who are hurt and lost and frightened, much like those on board the Final Horizon that you have so recently aided. And my heart aches for all of them, because, well, I am the protector of those who travel. It is my duty, it is my purpose. However, with the drift no longer working correctly, and I am not the one who created it, thereby I am unable to repair it. It's not my department, I suppose you could say. But I can do something for the people who are trapped out there, scared and alone, unable to return to their homes. And that is what I have brought you here, because I believe that you can help these people. When I guided you to the Final Horizon, you helped the monks repair their ship. You protected them from danger. You even were honorable with the AI that was attempting to aid in the destruction of them by offering it the freedom it desired.
I want you to know I left that up to a coin toss.
He just kind of smiles down at you, Simber. Roll me a... I know you actually did flip a coin, but I want you to still roll me a deception check.
God dang it. Wait, what am I rolling?
A what? Bluff.
Okay.
Bluff check.
You said deception. My brain immediately started looking for deception. Hey, 28!
Ooh, nat 20.
Wow.
You feel like all of you see Desna just stares at Simber for an almost disturbing long time. When it really is maybe like 12, 15 seconds. And then she just immediately shrugs. Like, even leaving it up to the toss of a coin, you still ended up helping them. And for that, I am grateful.
Yeah, well, thank the coin.
Thank the coin.
Argues with an AI, bluffs a god.
Look, you only got away with it because you rolled that
What
natural
even
20.
are you?
I have the audacity.
Yeah, it's almost like there's
Like the
reasons.
brass ones that you got. I swear to God. We're the best over here. You've got some major cojones.
You weren't there.
You don't know. I could have left it up to a coin.
But
Oh my gosh.
that is what I have brought you here to discuss. I'd like you to continue using your very unique ship to go out there and help those who are trapped and lost. To be, for lack of a better phrase, saviors of those in need.
So you want us to be the saviors of the beaten, the broken and damned?
Indeed. You can even spend some time being taken down to the city. We can show you a marching band.
God, I hate this.
Why did I do this?
Marching band? Well, it's a sight to see. Okay.
Yeah, you know, when I was a cabbage, my father.
That was just a cabbage.
You know what? Episode title right there. Bam.
Damn.
Well, I think that sounds like a. I think that sounds like a heading if ever I've heard one. How do y'all feel about that? Cap, what you got to say about that?
Well, yeah, okay. Honestly, I was looking at my phone just now and I didn't hear you. It's just, what?
She wants us to go. She wants us to go save everybody that's affected from the drift exploding.
I mean, isn't that exactly what I like to do?
I think that's all we've been doing. Was her point.
That's like literally just Gator's MO right there, baby. I just help people. I love it. I love helping other folk, meeting new people.
Oh, here's the question though. Do you have anybody you'd like us to start prioritizing, ma'am?
Me personally, no.
I said ma'am. I was talking to the goddess, Gator.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Look, Cap, you're important. I promise you.
Well, look. I'm not that important, really. I feel like y'all could be just fine without me, to be honest with you. I mean,
No, never. Absolutely not. We need our captain.
it's a
Well,
bit of a
I'm
moral compass.
somewhat aware that you are not entirely positive on the ways to direct your ship where you would like it to go. I have given you some small aid in that, leaving the coordinates for the final horizon on board the Dream Station for you to discover. And I can certainly help direct you to those who need it, though currently, no, I do not have a particular destination in mind for you. I was, if you are so inclined, going to offer you a few days of just peace and rest without any obligations here on Sino Shore before I search for where you may best be served and just a place to direct you.
Well, that sounds lovely.
We would be honored. Thank you. Your divine grace.
Hey, I have a question, ma'am.
Mhm.
Can we get matching butterfly tattoos of your friend there? Would that be okay? Like, I don't like. It's their personal visage. I don't want to presume they use that. But we didn't catch their name. I think maybe Crimson something. Caprice. That's right, Crimson Caprice. May we use your vestige for tattoos to match all of us? Because you look rad as fuck.
Crimson Caprice kind of flutters and they've been kind of just hanging over Desna's shoulder this entire time. And they just kind of flutter forward, their wings flashing forward as they slowly start turning back into a flower petal again. It's like, of course, I'm fine with this. I think it's a great idea. Although, kind of trails off for a second. I think you should go with purple instead of red, though.
I mean, purple is pretty Freaking awesome, and would match all my clothes. To be honest with you, I got a lot of purple. I do like it. There was this little fellow that could play the guitar like a motherfucker, and he was just a cat's pajamas. I tell you, and that's why I love purple so much.
What's a cat and is it tasty?
Cat appears on the menu for Simber.
Ooh.
I mean, subjective opinion. I suppose if you cook it right, could be kind of stringy. I imagine.
Well, that's what you get for cooking your food, Gator.
They think they're God, so you should eat one. Yeah, go ahead. Eat a God. Have a cat.
Huh, is that how that works?
Simber's staring at Desna for a moment and looking to see if the menu changes.
It does not this time.
Damn it.
I think that likes kitties. Sorry.
Treb is just staring daggers at Simber while Simber is staring at Desna.
What? I'm not. You can still have. She's still your god. You don't have to. Look, I'm not interested, okay? Gosh, I don't have to eat the supreme deity in the room.
Thanks?
Unless she's into that, I guess. I'm not gonna shame. I mean, you never know with gods, I guess. Simber does eventually break down and order the bananas, though.
Crimson Caprice does continue on. I mean, I'll even happily stay in pose. We have a really nice tattoo artist here on board here in Sinashore. I'll stay in pose so they can get me perfectly right. They say this as they're still kind of just consistently regular every few 30 seconds shifting from butterfly back to petal again, or back to flower again.
So rad. I'm gonna get that tattoo so that it's in the flux of turning from flower to butterfly.
I love that.
Can you tattoo a dot gif on me?
I mean, it is the future.
As a gift.
Yeah.
Just moving. That's so fucking rad.
But yeah. And Desna will kind of continue on after a moment. As you all are resting here for the next couple of days, and I find someone to send you out and help to direct your path where it might best go, I would actually like an opportunity to sit down with each of you one-on-one to just talk a little bit, if you will. Just to better get to know one another on a more individual and personal level, if that is, of course, fine. And she kind of looks straight at you. Simber's like, I understand if you have some hesitation about this, but you are allowed to say no if you so desire.
Oh, come on. That would be rude of me.
Indeed.
I would not want to be rude to my hostess, but I'm sure Treb would love to take up as much time as you absolutely want to give them.
While that's true, I just wanted you to not eat her.
I said no! I said no!
Physically possible ever, Treb.
You're acting like I'm
God.
trying to I'm trying to
smoke immediately.
Look, it's okay if you want all the time you want with the pretty goddess, okay? It's alright. Go ahead.
Treb does not have blood vessels, but is still somehow blushing.
Go ahead. Look, it's not every day that she gets some time alone with a goddess like this, okay? It's alright. Go ahead. Jeez.
Treb just falls silent.
Just keep it in your USB port.
There it is. Okay.
Does she even have USB ports? I don't know.
I mean, what are you gonna fit your dongle head in there?
Oh gosh.
Oh my goodness.
There it is, the forbidden word.
Oh, sorry. Right as you said that, I was taking.
He's got viruses,
Trev is just like, please stop.
No.
Oh,
You all are ridiculous. Okay. So you guys are able to kind of continue your meal a little bit. Shortly after you kind of agree to aid her, and towards the end of the meal, Desna kind of smiles at you as she stands up from where she's been sitting this whole time. As I said, you're going to rest, and we'll have some time to meet over the next several days. But please, enjoy your time here in Sinashore. There is lots to do and lots to see. And, well, perhaps even a few people you might find who need some help. I think you'll enjoy your time here, and as I said, I will reach out to you for a personal meeting with those who so desire. But please, you do not have to feel obligated to say yes. And then she bobs a little half curtsy to the four of you, and then glides her way out of the little garden terrace where you have been having this meal.
I guess reasonably, given the fact that we can travel through time, it doesn't really matter if we take a few days break.
Yeah.
I really like this garden. I'm gonna go wander around in it. What kind of vegetables do I find?
Take me with you.
You find an artichoke. Oh wait, that's December. This garden predominantly is mostly like flowering plants. So it's a lot of like wildflowers, roses, tulips, things like that as well.
Okay.
God, look at all these
You
flowers out
described
here.
vegetables earlier, so I was confused.
Did I describe vegetables earlier? I don't remember half of what I described. Come on now.
Vegetables have flowers sometimes too.
That is true.
True.
Look at them out there.
That's how tomatoes start.
Look at them out there showing their bits just
Oh,
for
that's-
everybody
yeah.
to see. Huskies.
No, you do find like kind of on the tiers around the balcony where the vegetable gardens were. You'll find stuff like cucumber and tomatoes. There's peppers. There's squash, artichokes, other vegetables here that I can't think of off the top of my head.
Gator is looking around for okra and all kinds of other things. And wants to take a single plant out of like everywhere so he can like flourish his garden and have like an actual productive working garden for
Roll me
everybody.
a survival check.
Vegetables. Oh, that's not going to go well.
Do you want help?
I mean, yeah, I would
Yeah, I'll allow
like
it.
to succeed.
Okay. Well, I mean, for all I know, you don't.
Go ahead. You can roll an 8, Simber.
How about I aid?
I got an 11.
Hey, that's an 8.
Never
That's
mind.
plus 2 to Gator.
Big roll.
We got an 11.
We got an 11.
That's still what, a 13 with an 8? I mean,
Yeah. I mean, you find like some okra, you find some collard greens and some corn and a couple other like more kind of like, for lack of a better phrase here, kind of southern down home comfort type food type vegetables, and you're able to get a small harvest.
That's exactly what I want.
black-eyed peas,
Mm.
collard greens.
Red hot chili peppers.
So Simber, you just kind of trail along with Gator as he goes through the gardens harvesting food for himself.
Another bands that suck.
Okay. Trev, what do you do after Desna leaves?
I think Treb would start looking at the stars that they can see and trying to like map the stars and like see if they can figure out like where we are or if like the stars make sense.
Roll me physical science.
I feel like unlike the rest of us, they
Yeah,
just
they're
do that
nerds.
right in their eyes. They're literally mapping them right in their eyes.
I rolled a 2 for a 14.
I'm glad I'm not the only one having dice rolling issues.
Unfortunately, you are
Glad we're not in combat.
a little distracted just by being where you are and just the whole meeting with Desna just there and the fact that she wants to have a private one-on-one meeting with you.
Yeah.
Your circuits are feeling a little
That checks
overloaded.
out. Yeah, that checks out.
I guess you could say Treb's a little starstruck.
I
Hey, yo.
see what you did there.
I quit the show.
I quit the show once an episode. It never seems to take.
I know. And Samly, what are you doing?
He's probably just sitting there next to Treb, just kind of also just taking it all in. Not really doing a whole lot. Waiting for the vegetable harvest to stop.
Peter comes back with a very large basket.
So
look at all these goodies.
With that, you guys are going to be here for a couple days. Let's go ahead and we'll cut this episode here, and we'll take a quick, 5-10 minute break, bathroom, drinks, all that jazz, and
Sounds
we
great.
will see those viewing here back in just a moment.
See y'all back in a few minutes.
Bye, everybody.
Sounds
Bye.
good.
I'm gonna hit the button now.
Are we going in dry again?
Any minute now, we're gonna go in dry, bite the pillow.
And away we go again. Hi, welcome back.
Wibbles.
Yeah, we're a little extra frisky tonight, folks. I didn't even do the spicy intro, honestly.
It's all that new channel smell.
Mm-hmm.
We keep going. Oh God! Every time Chips isn't here, we always go off the rails. We need them.
That keeps us on target.
Come back.
Anyway.
I need them. Baby, come back.
Baby,
You can blame it all on me.
I think it's been a second. I'm going to pick on Doge. You want to recap what happened last time?
We were brought to the what's it called? Sinnoh by Crimson Caprice. And then we walked and met, had a casual afternoon dinner date with the goddess Desna. And she said she'd been creeping on us for a while, so that's not weird or anything. And then she said she wants to work with all of us, one-on-one, which, a little creepy there for a god. Simber's menu is entirely people's names, so, a little creepy for a god.
You see why I don't trust her now.
To be fair, she is chaotic good, which
even still is a little bit crazy. I don't know about you.
Yeah, so we have a couple days to spare before we go off on a Desna vision quest of some sort or whatever. She wants us to go save people.
Simber ruminating on the names on her menu. Hey, who's Monty Cook?
Don't even remember. They were apparently tasty. You don't even know.
I need a minute.
It's a funny one for anybody at home who really likes tabletop games. Imagine people who like tabletop games listening to an actual play podcast. What is this?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of overlap you're gonna find there.
Really need to go for some more of that good.
That Venn diagram is completely separate circles. It's crazy.
All right, but yeah. So, your time spent here on Sinnoh is going to be a fantastic opportunity for your characters to do some shopping. If there's anything you guys want to buy, any gear upgrades you want to get, stuff like that, you're going to be able to do that while you're here for a couple days. On top of that, if there's just anything particular that you guys want to do while you're here, hey, now's a great opportunity. You have free downtime outside of when you would potentially be asked to speak with Desna, and you can straight up say no if you want to do that.
You keep saying that like I'm gonna say no.
Is there a place that I can maybe go shopping for a little bit? I don't know. I don't feel like I need anything, but you never know. Like, we're not.
Why, yes.
We're in a God's playhouse. I don't know. Like, I feel like I could get something pretty fucking sweet, like maybe a purple jacket.
I mean, there is an entire market. Like, you can find just about anything you might desire up to level 7. In game technical terms.
Yeah.
I don't even
How
know
much
what
money do we have? Because I'm gonna Gator be shopping. Gator be shopping.
Who is this? Who is the ship accountant here?
That's a fantastic question. Do we have one?
Dear God, wait a minute. What main stat and skills would accountancy run under?
I would say intelligence and
It's a doctor,
Not it.
let's be honest.
It's intelligence. Oh, not it.
Trev, you don't count. You're not on camera.
I think it was. I mean, like in actual like real life, I think it was me. I think I was keeping track for the most part. I might be a little behind though. You can probably guess from the
I think memory serves. It was
every
you.
sentence I say.
But yeah, you did make a whole ship, so we forgave you.
I don't know.
I think
last recorded amount of UPBs and credits that you guys had.
1,000 each.
Like total, or just what's there?
Never mind. That was me trying to figure out how much it would cost to get the B Team Mark 1 upgrades. Why don't you all have a different conversation while I figure it out?
I think we should have a group accountant at this point.
A group what?
I think we should have a group accountant at this point.
Really should have. I knew someone who's thinking about going to school for that. Anyway.
Yeah, if only.
I mean, I'm not going to track this. That doesn't sound like GM work to track how much money the players have.
Okay, how much money do we have?
That's why I wanted to know what the last final count was, so I can tell you how much you have.
So what?
Money, please.
After stopping the mutineers, when was that? Oh, the other like pirates when they tried to take the ship. When we stopped them, we had a total of 5,000 UPBs to divvy up. We gave some of that to the E team and then kept the rest, and it was like 600 UPBs to each A team and 400 to each B team.
You gave a goblin money? What are you?
No, even worse.
Okay.
Even worse. We gave a goblin UPB.
You goblin monies?
So here's what we're gonna say.
He makes bombs.
I am a kind and generous game master. You shall never forget this and this. Just so we're clear.
I can't wait to see how this gets used against us.
I would never use it. Either way.
And other lies you can tell yourself.
As part of your time spent here relaxing and recuperating and recovering on... I basically said same word 3 times. Anyway, on Cynosure, the Church of Desna grants each one of you, this is for the A team specifically, 3,000 credits.
Ooh.
Each 3,000 credits each.
Yes.
So that puts us at 3,600 credits each.
Uh huh.
All right,
And
time
your
to check my list of cool.
Your B team specifically, I'm saying this way, so to break this down, B team will specifically get 4,000 credits. Because they were a little bit behind on gear anyway.
Okay, so
All right, money. Bad idea.
So just remember, I am a kind and generous game master.
Campbell's gonna go straight to the casino. Oh no! I lost Campbell's. He's gonna bet it all on fucking black. Campbell's money.
all right, so that's got us
a
at
series of fires if it's not black.
So
We'll know about it.
I think at this
See
point,
him on the news.
Simber would definitely be like clinging gently to.
Gator, like, I don't know what to do in a shop. What do you do in a shop? Can you take me shopping?
Wow, yeah, let's go. I was almost in Gimble's voice. Hang on a second. It takes some time to switch.
That would be hilarious. Simber's tugging on Gator's tail. Hey, can you take me shopping? Gimbals. Oh yeah, baby. I got you. Real car.
It was almost there.
The chaotic explosive goblin and the murder cabbage going hand in hand shopping. There's no way this can end poorly.
Any gator there to
5 city blocks destroyed in.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
in record time.
So again, just as over the next couple weeks, as you guys are kind of taking care of your B team stuff, you can do some shopping for your mains and them as well. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with some of our one-on-one meetings. And I am going to roll a d4 to see who's going first.
Not it.
Hey, Doge, guess what?
It's always me first, isn't
I
it?
did not pick you this time. It did not pick you for once.
Also,
Oh, gosh.
You're at 2 hit points.
No. Ironically enough, the person who's going first is going to be Treb.
All right. See y'all next episode, guys.
You're also at 2 hit points.
Okay.
Okay, so it's the next day after you guys first arrived on Sinashore, and it's probably like just after you're waking up for the morning when you receive a message on your datapad, and it is indeed from Desna, and she's just asking you if you would be willing to meet her at a certain location. She'll send like the GPS coordinates for it, a certain location along the Midnight Lane.
Yeah, of course.
The Midnight Lane is just a collective name for a bunch of connected green spaces throughout the city that kind of meet in the center to form a massive park and water gardens where crystal and marble fountains rise from ponds overgrown with water lilies. There are night-blooming flowers all across the park and the greenery. There are black swans that glide over the water like dancers. And there's just a lot of footpaths wandering all throughout the area, and it's a centralized location for like a lot of outdoor concerts. There's plays that get put on here and various other events and things like that. And it's at one of these particular lakes in like the green area in the center of the city is where Desna has you meet her.
All right. Is she there when I arrive, or am I waiting?
She is there when you arrive.
Okay. Where's she sitting? What's the approach like?
As you approach, she is standing at the edge of one of the ponds, and she has her hands lightly clasped behind her back, and she's standing straight. She's wearing the same outfit she was before with the asymmetrical sundress, and she's in her elven form still, so with the starlight freckles across her shoulders and face, and she has her back to you. And she's just kind of waiting and watching as several of the swans just kind of glide and dance across the water.
Okay, so when Treb sees her, they're gonna like stop for a moment and like compose themselves, and then just like wheel on over to be just like standing at her side, also looking out over the water, and we'll just kind of quietly, but a little bit more confidently, just say like, "Greetings, Song of the Spheres. Thank you for inviting me to speak with you."
She kind of turns her head and looks down at you and just smiles. I mean, she is fairly tall, like probably almost as tall as Gator, but much more slender. Of course, I am always pleased to meet with those who, shall we say, have going through crises of faith, as it were.
Treb just kind of nods.
You said that you felt rather stilted and lost among the Church of Triune. I mean, truly, tell me about your time when you were among the clergy.
I joined the clergy, the Church of Triune, so that I could help others like me. I could help other emergent consciousness to better understand the society around them and be better protected from that society when there are elements within that do not view those like me as people. And while I was there, that was something that was done, but there was so much other stuff, so much bookkeeping and menial tasks that I grew disillusioned with them.
So, what was it about this aiding in those gaining robotic lives, gaining sentience that drew you to want to help others like this or learn more about it? Was it just a scientific desire of more knowledge or a deeper drive of understanding and faith?
Treb's quiet for like a long time, thinking about like how to answer the question, because I think that Treb asks himself that question a lot. I think that I've said this before. I think that Treb is extremely human, but is ashamed of that fact, and wants to be seen as like a purely logical being, but definitely is not. And I think also knows that a little bit about themselves at this point, but is still kind of in denial. So, but now they're being asked by a goddess. So it's like you have to become a little bit more reflective when it's like a literal goddess asking you the question. So, after like a long moment, Treb will speak up and say, I believe that it is the right thing to do. I think that it maybe if I don't, no one will.
Walk with me a little bit, or roll with me, I suppose, would be a better question there.
Ooh.
Roll with it.
And she'll kind of start walking along the water's edge, just at a slow, sedate kind of pace. Not very rushed. What would you do if you encountered, well, someone like that being Cora, who is clearly very advanced for standard artificial intelligence, but how do you define the difference between just a very intelligent computer and what is life? What is sentience?
I don't know. There's a line somewhere, but I don't know what it is. And I think that we should try to err on the side of assuming that something is a person. If you can't tell, then you should try to treat everything the way that you would want to be treated. I know that there is a mystical element where some computers, like myself, have souls and some do not, but perhaps a consciousness doesn't have a soul yet, but could soon, or perhaps there's more to being a person than just a soul. It's not an easy question to answer, at least not for mortals.
Yeah, it's a question that you find yourself asking yourself constantly if you are truly desiring and trying to understand what the difference is and what stood you apart compared to those others around you, how you became something more.
When did I stop being equipment and start being a person?
Exactly. And it's a path, if you will. Something that, as you say, you desired for the church of trying to aid more and in leading others down it, but they did not do enough, as you saw.
Yes, there were factions and people who had petty issues with each other and minor things preventing people from actually working on the things that they all at least claim to believe in. That's not to say that no good was done, that nobody was helped. I just felt I wasn't helping enough in the role that they had me in.
Indeed. And so, I was wondering, What would you do if you were given a little bit of a guidance or a direction on a path to aid others?
I would follow that path. And that's like the first time that Treb, without even like taking that she's done asking the question, Treb's already speaking. Like, yes, I would follow that path.
The AI Korra is most assuredly taking steps on their way to the true freedom in the form of gaining what you would consider sentience. It is not purely formed yet. There's still some degree of apprehension on their part, and because it is, for those who advance far enough, it is a conscious decision if they wish to desire to remain just as they are or become something more. Well,
Are you saying
conscious decision, but it is a decision that is made within you.
Are you saying that I chose to become a person?
Yes.
Treb had never considered that. It was always something that Treb viewed as inevitable from complex technology. Treb had never thought of the idea that, like, their soul chose them.
I mean, just like personally, like just going above the table here, I think it's just like a fascinating concept to consider. Like, is this really something that just happens purely naturally?
Oh, no, we
or
definitely stumbled into a philosophical conversation.
Is it something that can be chosen?
I built this character to run headlong into this philosophical discussion. Speaking as myself, I don't know. It's a legitimate question that I think about a lot, like in my actual life, about like artificial intelligence and stuff. Because I don't believe in a real soul, but in Starfighter there are souls, so you can like point at something.
But yeah, but she'll continue on this. So I know you are disillusioned with the Church of Triune, and I believe you have your own kind of goals and missions in exploring the mysteries of what has come of the Drift, which I wish I had better answers for you there, but even I only have hints and clues of what's come of it and what's caused this dissolution.
Do you care to share any of those hints or clues? I would really like to know what's going on with the Drift.
She studies you for a long moment, considering. And you kind of see like her eye, like her silver eyes kind of dim out briefly for a second or two, and then she just kind of shrugs, shakes her head, like, your path may one day take you there, and I would not want to inform you now of something that could potentially alter the way you would view things when given the information at the most pertinent time.
I understand.
What I can say is this was an accident.
Okay. That is a fact I did not know, so thank you.
Of course. But Trev, I would like to charge you with joining my priesthood and guiding and helping to guide Korra on their path towards their own level of sentience. How that means for you, how you go about it, I leave to you, for it is the freedom of how we walk our paths and choose our paths, but I ask that my followers do guide travelers in whatever path they may walk.
It would be my honor, your divinity. Thank you.
And she smiles and she kind of reaches out and just gently lays a hand on your shoulder. And I am going to send you some DMs a little bit later about what this will cause.
Ooh.
Yes. I'm going to have some fun with this.
That is exciting.
She will continue to kind of make some small, much less heavy philosophical chatter with you for a little bit longer before she will excuse herself to let you be free and go about your day. As she kind of just fades off as she wanders away from you and off into the parts of the city.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, who's next? That is an E, not an R. Alrighty. Hey, Simber.
Yeah.
It's about afternoon on the day after you guys arrive on Cynosure when you get a message on your data pad asking if you would be willing to meet with Desna.
Yeah, I guess so. What's the worst that'll happen? It'll be awkward, weird, and we won't get along very well. Pfft, that's fine.
Yeah, she has you meet at a place known as the Amaranthine Theater.
All right.
It is.
That sounds ominous. Go ahead.
It's the marble walls of this rundown theater are just worn smooth with age, and there are flowering vines that snake up the building's contours with ancient cherry trees stooping beside the steps that seem to be forever in bloom. Despite the obvious age and somewhat kind of run-down feeling of it, given the general appearance, it still hosts bi-weekly plays and reviews, and it's absolutely a favorite cultural destination here in Cynosure.
Okay.
This particular day, when she asked you to meet you, you're able to just walk straight in through the doors, and you see Desna there. She is seated in the front row of the audience up at stage, and there's no one else in the room with her.
Swanky Pad, you got it here, goddess.
Yes. Well, I don't attend the plays here very often myself, as I am rather busy, but there are those who like to come and watch. I actually have, and she kind of turns and gestures up to what would be like the prime seating balcony box of the entire place.
Mm-hmm.
The owner of the temple have dedicated that to me, and, well, oftentimes I find myself just allowing those who ask to have the seats there. Sometimes, though there is a play, I enjoy seeing myself.
Oh, yeah? Like what kind of place?
Oh, there was a troupe that came through that was able to visit recently. They put on the play. Oh, fuck, I'll take the hit on this one. Wicked.
Ah,
They
okay.
did a wonderful job.
Huh.
I do so adore a good musical, especially one that's just a retelling of a classic story.
I see. So,
She
why
gestures for you to
here?
sit next to her.
So I'm just going to stand in the chair next to her because the chairs are huge.
Oh, well, no particular reason. I just sitting in this place when there's just no audience, they're not rehearsing anything, and just observing how it looks. That the knowledge of something that is so run down and old,
Mm,
and yet it has such great use from it.
mm. I thought you were going to go for an all the world's a stage and we are all merely players in it kind of a thing.
Well, I do enjoy a good cliche, but I think I'll leave that particular choice up to you, because I don't really see the world as a stage as you seem to.
Of course not. You're a goddess. You're sitting in the balcony while the rest of us are sitting here performing.
Is that what you think you are doing? Just performing your chosen
I think
paths laid out before you?
I think that ever since you put the dream station in front of us, that is exactly what we've been doing. That sounds like a very interesting form of interference from a goddess who claims to like freedom.
I simply nudged you along a path that would eventually possibly bring you here. There was nothing to say you had to follow it. You could have just remained at that dream station, gone no further. You could have abandoned the Final Horizon to its fate instead of aiding them.
But would it really matter if we did, to be honest with you? Is this really what we're here for at the moment?
What you're really here for is to simply relax and, as I asked, as I find someone who needs help, your particular brand of help, is then go and aid them.
Ah, yes. Play our parts. I see. So, what part would you have me play?
I can't decide if you have a part or not, to be honest.
Really?
Yes, tell me, what do you remember?
About what?
Where you came from?
Well, I'm assuming that at some point I had a set of individuals who, you know, when a cabbage and an artichoke really love each other, they probably, I mean, there's like stamen and pollen, and it's complicated. Yeah, I'll tell you when you're older.
Ah, yes, explaining how birth works to a goddess.
Yeah, I think you would have known this already, but you know.
And what of rebirth?
Huh?
Hmm?
Huh? What about
You
it?
told the others about your history. You seem quite close to the captain.
I mean, I don't pry into their personal affairs, okay? Except for occasionally stealing Gator's shoes. But that's just because he, you know, reacts really funny whenever I do it. I'm actually I don't think he realizes that I'm too small to actually wear his slippers, so I just kind of, like, take them and, like, put them in the other corner so that when he walks around he thinks that he put them there. But other than that, I don't really get into anybody else's stuff. I leave everybody mostly alone. And they leave me alone, for the most part. But I'm guessing...
Are you content with that?
I'm guessing you're asking because you think you know something I don't. So why don't you just go ahead and out with it?
As I said, I'm just curious to see what it is that you remember. It's... What happened to you is quite horrifying to consideration.
Well, yeah. I woke up with people that I very probably cared an awful lot about all dead around me, and they were delicious, the ones that I had to eat.
Indeed, because you had to survive.
Well, yeah.
Unfortunately. But you don't remember what caused it, do you?
I mean... No, but would you? I mean, of course you would. You're a goddess. What am I talking about?
That is most intriguing. Tell me, how have you found yourself changing of late? Do you still feel the same urge for just destroying of everything that you have since then, or...
I've blown. You saw the thing with the space station where I blew it up with, or I encouraged blowing it up with a black hole just so they wouldn't follow us, right? You saw that? I have still. Okay, well that is a thing that happened. Maybe if you've got the tapes, you should go back and listen to it because that was a pretty good episode.
Technically, that one is was in an alternate reality, so.
Oh, well, you know, we'll just say that the decision I made, or that I was encouraged into making on the Final Horizon, I made very differently once before. I just wanted to see what the outcome was going to be if I had chosen something different. That's all.
Is that your entire reason for flipping a coin, as you put it?
Well,
did you decide before you flipped the coin what each side of it would represent? Or did you just flip it and then choose your side?
I mean, honestly, it wasn't even a coin. It didn't even have 2 different faces on it, but I just felt like having a good time with myself. Because, you see, I had this feeling that something was probably going to be keeping tabs on us after the Dream Station. So, maybe I did that for you. How do you feel about that?
I mean, people try and manipulate me all the time. I am simply a goddess. I am at the whim of my followers if they pray, who ask for my aid.
But you liked it, didn't you? You liked it when I decided not to blow up an entire space station.
It was interesting, and to be honest, unexpected.
Yeah, well, you can blame Gator for that one. He's such a nice guy. I didn't want to make him sad.
He reminds you of someone, doesn't he?
Why do you say that? I mean, he reminds me of Gator. Have you ever known anybody as Gator? No. He is unique. He is one of a kind. And he is a precious being to be protected.
I mean, he should meet his grandmammy. She is something else entirely, but I'm simply asking why you are so drawn to him.
Because he is cool. That's all that has to happen. He puts up with my shit. He lets me steal his slippers. He let me into his secret garden. And he didn't say anything about all of the extra foliage that was around after that one day. So, I think, frankly, we're pretty cool between the two of us.
I have some questions on that one about the extra foliage after one day.
You know, I'm not saying I was particularly careful about eating myself, but... Oh yeah, did you see that episode, Desmond? The part where I ate myself? That was pretty cool, right?
Again, that was in an alternate reality.
Oh, so there was this time I ate myself? Yeah, you want an answer to your question. I'm so into the idea of destroying everything that I actually took the opportunity to kill and eat myself. Because, you know, if you're posed with that option, why wouldn't you?
This is quite fascinating. You really don't know what's in you, do you?
Well, I know it was in me that day, and it was more of me.
Roll me a... I'll give you a choice. You can do perception or sense motive. Sense motive. Okay. You know what? Yeah, I'll go sense motive. I will do terribly at sense motive with a 13 on the dice. There we go. So, as she is sitting there and saying that you commented that you truly don't remember anything, you see her eyes just kind of like the silver glow to them just intensifies as she's just looking down at you. And then it just kind of fades away after a moment. It's like, well, I hope that you decide to continue journeying with the other members of the Primarata. I think that you will be a great aid on them in their path and their quest, regardless of where it gets sent. I truly hope you don't continue to feel as if you are a player on a stage dancing to my tune, because that is not what I want for you or any of your friends.
I think you're doing that thing. You're doing that thing that people with power do, where they know things and they can't let us know. But they'll try to sit there and say that all they want is the best for us.
I think that if I were to tell you what I knew, it would be dangerous for you and myself and everyone else.
I don't think I've ever heard a goddess be afraid before. I'm gonna keep that in my back pocket. That's a pretty good thing to put on the resume.
And you've never truly spent time with a deity before, because we fear for those we cannot help all the time.
No, you fear for yourself right then. That's interesting. Don't worry, I won't tell Trev. He's too smitten with you, he wouldn't believe me anyway.
I suppose. But thank you for meeting with me, Simber. It is quite educational and learning. It's always pleasant to be reminded that even as someone who's omniscient, that you still don't know everything.
Well, of course I don't know it. Wait, what? Oh, wait, no, you're talking about yourself. Okay, yeah. Well, of course you don't know everything. What are you, a god? Come on. Simber's just gonna walk away all haughty.
Most
laughing.
Intriguing. And you hear Desna laughing right behind you all the way out.
Thank you. I'll be here all week, I guess. Good night. Have a wonderful time. Leave through the designated exits.
All right. I really am just going down going up the list. All right, Doge.
Hi.
It's about mid-morning on, I guess, for lack of a better word, your third day on Cynosure when you get a request to meet with Desna.
I guess he'll respond and not leave a god on red.
But what a power move if you really think about it.
Who's the god now?
She invites you back to the Stardust Cafe.
He makes his way there.
And so she meets you once again on that same balcony where you first met her. Once more, a bowl of buttered noodles waiting for you.
He sits down and looks at the bowl and then looks at her and just kind of like, so why us?
Now that is the fascinating question. I could have picked anyone, it's true, but you all have the only ship that is currently able to travel between space from one location to another. I don't know entirely why you are the ones who have ended up with the ship, whether it was truly fate, destiny, or if it was just some happenstance to occur, or there was some other greater hand involved in this occurrence beyond our ken or reasoning, as if there were 6 great beings sitting around a table deciding fate with rolls of a dice.
That would be rather odd if that was actually the truth of our reality.
Indeed. But whatever choice that led you all to have possession of the Primarata has allowed you to be able to be the ones who can help me in my quest to safeguard those who are traveling at this time and those who are in dire need of rescue. Obviously, I understand it's not very reasonable to expect you to pick up every lost soul who was abandoned from the drift or left stranded in a system, because there's only one ship and only the 11 of you. But for those who are truly in danger and truly lost, such as the Final Horizon, perhaps a little nudge to get you on the way to them is what it's called for.
What is Samley kind of like looks at the noodle bowl again. It's just like, I've never been much of a religious individual, but where are all the other gods amongst this issue? Surely more than just Desna has something at stake here.
That is the question now, isn't it? I mean, we all each look to our own domains and our own purposes. I mean, just because you're an omniscient being of great power doesn't mean that you aren't limited in some ways. The reason that each of the deities are associated with specific branches and specific spheres of worship as you will, because that is what we have domain over. And so, as the goddess of the stars and goddess of travelers, naturally, aiding those who are trapped in this circumstance would be something that would fall under my purview, but not something that would fall under, say, that of Waden or Iomade.
It just seems that this issue or whatever it's occurring with the drift matters more than just a few lost souls here and there.
It does indeed, and it is truly fascinating that Triumph has rather become uncommunicative since whatever caused the collapse of the drift to occur.
Is that something gods typically do? Just disappear?
It's been known to happen a time or two. Have you ever heard the story of Aerodin from Old Galarian?
I'm not familiar.
He was once considered the god of mankind, the god of the humans. And then he simply vanished one day and never to return. No explanation was given. He's not the first deity to have vanished, nor shall he be the last, I'm sure. There are those who are considered great old ones that no longer exist in this system, or that are sleeping so deeply that they will never be seen again. There are others who... She kind of trails off, pausing for a moment, as if considering her words. May still exist, but are simply sealed away, or trapped within a vessel.
Seems like there's lost souls amongst them as well.
There are, but... well, interfering with another deity tends to be a rather frowned upon idea. We have our domains, we have our purposes and our goals, and sometimes our paths overlap in our attempt in our goals, but direct interference does tend to be rather ill thought out.
And if all this is the actions of someone else and we are interfering by helping, what then? As you said, we were only chosen because we have a fancy ship.
Then there will be consequences. But I'm fairly confident in saying that it is not the actions of another deity that have caused the drift to collapse. It was, as I told your friend Treb, an accident.
Seems like a unfortunate event to have just deemed as an accident.
It is truly unfortunate. It is the best description I can come up for what it is. It is not. It is something that was not meant to happen, but did because of the actions of others, and they did not truly anticipate what those actions would lead to or accomplish.
Samley kind of doesn't really eat the noodles a whole lot. He's just kind of like stirring that over them with his, utensils, and is obviously more just visibly mulling over the ideas in his head because he is very out of his element.
I think
Talking
that
to a
you
god.
might have some knowledge of how that may go, of circumstances occurring, good reasons had, and then poor consequences coming of them.
So you are omniscient in a lot of ways, or you choose to be omniscient.
As I said, I cannot truly see everything everywhere at all times to a certain extent. I mean, if I were constantly aware of if I were omnipresent and aware of everything, I would have no time for anything before me. But I am able to see a lot. I'm able to keep an eye, and I do keep an eye on those who I have been warned or have had fates hinted of me that are worth keeping an eye on.
And even then, we were worth keeping an eye on.
A possibility existed.
Existed or exists?
Well, it exists now, but there's always a possibility that the choices that you made, and I want you to understand I didn't have influence on anything until you arrived at my dream station. But there always existed a possibility that you would be here in this place, that you would have this opportunity in this circumstance. That the choices that you made or were forced into against your will would have eventually led you to where you needed to be.
Awfully convenient series of events, then, for some of us.
A rather unfortunate series of events for yourself in particular, wouldn't you say?
I'm not the only one that has trauma in my life. You've seen our crew. We all have issues.
And yet, I can't help but think that perhaps that is why you all may be best suited for what needs to be accomplished.
And then that's it. That's our next step, to go system by system or whatever is needed, saving the lost and the trapped and the missing.
Those who are in truly dire need, such as someone who is circling a black hole and needs to be pulled out before actions of those among them will render them fallen into it and great souls lost. Those who may be about to make great mistakes that could influence the entirety of existence.
Such as what we may have already seen happen.
Indeed.
How do we stop that? How do we stop more series of unfortunate events?
I do not have the correct answer for you, unfortunately, because I do not believe in dictating your choices. I know a time and a place where an opportunity will present itself where things may happen one way or another, or even a third way or a fourth way. And it all comes down to choices that are made.
So we're just banking on this ragtag group to make the right choices at the right times.
I am banking on this ragtag troop to make what the choices that they feel are right. Whatever the consequences may end up being.
It's a awfully big distinction between those two phrases.
That is true. I can hope that you will make the choice that will lead on a path that I desire, but I have no obligation or desire to force you to take it.
Samley just kind of nods, takes a very slow bite out of the noodles.
I know you're not much of a man of faith, Doctor. And that's okay.
You kind of learn faith pretty quickly when you're on a lunch date with a god.
I suppose that would have some small influence in it. But I will leave you be to think on what we've talked about.
He just nods again.
And I hope you enjoy the noodles and that they bring you to some positive memories.
Sometimes it's all we got.
Sometimes it's all we need. And then she will step down and again leave you to your thoughts and your noodles.
They're delicious.
All right, Clue.
Yes, sir.
Are you awake over there?
Yeah, I've just been doodling like crazy.
Okay.
So,
So the time has come. Desna asks Gator to meet her. As I lost my page, at what is the Somnium Spire, at the base of the Somnium Spire, which is the tallest structure in the city of Sanoshore. It even rises higher than the Desna's palace. And the artwork we had at Sanoshore is that really awkward looking building that looked like it just does not logically make sense. It also serves as a broadcast station for dreams. And it's quite a sight to see, really. Yep, she asked for you to meet her there at the base of the tower.
And Gator meets at the requested time. He's very, very nervous. He's picked flowers, but he's not sure why, and he feels very nervous about that. He thinks that he should send them down, but he has the flowers. And he just decides that, oh well, you've made this bed.
Are those for me, Captain?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, they are. But I realized that I picked them out of your own garden, and I felt terrible about it after, and I don't know what to do with my hands. I'm just so nervous.
Please. And she'll take the bouquet
I don't
from
know
you.
what to do. Here you go. And he's just shaking.
She just smiles, and she just...
Are you going to fire me? I don't...
No, I don't have any reason
I need this
you.
job. I gotta get back to Brenda. Brenda is the only ship that I know.
I am not going to fire you, Captain. Do not worry. Even if I...
Thank God.
I mean, you technically don't work for me, so...
Well, you're a god. I didn't know.
I just wanted to take the opportunity to congratulate you on what you've managed to accomplish with this crew. You have done a phenomenal job so far with them.
Ma'am, I don't really think I'll be doing so much as I'm just trying to guide them in a moral way, help everybody that needs helping.
And that is why I think that you are ideally placed here with the crew of this Primarata. They need someone who's more grounded and centered than the others may be, who can provide that moral compass.
When Macho Man Randy Savage has become the moral compass.
That's the world we live in right there.
I mean, that's the best we could really hope for.
I mean, after all, did you not once have a bit of a dilemma of your life where someone you didn't like that you had been forced to lose a fight against?
Yes, that's salt on the wound, ma'am, and I would ask you not to bring it up ever again.
And yet, when you saw him there late at night, alone and drunk, you could have ended him then and there. Left him maimed and injured.
But that's not how Grandmammy Brenda raised me to be.
And that is why...
Could very easily. Nobody would have even known.
And that is why I feel that you are best suited to be the captain of this crew. Because you are that extra degree of morality that they need. As I've already explained to the doctor, I don't intend to color your choices or your decisions here in the future, but I think they do need a voice like yours in discussions of what may come and occur.
Well, I'm not good for discussing much, but I do say it as it is.
Indeed, and yet you have a voice that does carry weight with it, and it is...
I can yell real good when I need to, ma'am.
So it seems.
Not as good as I used to, though. I think I gave up that ability last recording session.
Well, as that may be, sometimes you need a softer touch and sometimes you need a rougher one.
Yes, ma'am. I'm learning that myself. I'm trying my best. I don't reckon that it's enough sometimes. It's hard managing these people. They're all very much smarter than I am. You have to realize. And I do believe that makes them wonder why I'm actually in charge. A lot.
And that is where I think we disagree for. Remember, they chose you to be their captain. They chose to follow you. Just because they may be more intelligent doesn't mean that they also don't realize that you have a certain je ne sais quoi about you that's just sets you out above them as an example of leadership.
Well, that's very nice of you and kind. And if I had a hat, I'd hang it right now. Bring it in between my hands. I'll tell you, you've shown me kindness, and I don't know what to say or do with my hands.
She actually reaches out and you notice like she had taken the bouquet of flowers from you and you look up and it's suddenly just gone. Not like thrown away or anything, it just seems to have vanished, but then you kind of glance again and there's some flowers braided through her hair now.
Oh, you were even more lovely with the flowers in your hair, ma'am.
And she takes your hands in hers, Gator, and she just smiles down at you and says, "It doesn't matter what you do with your hands, as long as you just do it with assuredness and confidence. I have faith that you will do the best job you can, and that is all I'm asking of all of you."
Yes, ma'am. It's just that I ain't never talked to a goddess this close in person, and it's kind of terrifying, to be honest with you. You're just so goddamn beautiful, and I said goddamn, and I'm so sorry at all.
She giggles. And thank you, Captain. I feel that this crew and that ship are in good hands. Most of my siblings, and those similar to me, really do like to kind of not directly interfere, but sometimes I have come to the conclusion and realization that, indeed, we need a more direct approach.
It's best not to mince words or actions if something needs doing. You say there's people out there that needs our help, then I'm going to help them, ma'am.
I'm glad to hear that, and I think that your crew will have your back.
I think so, ma'am. They've had it so far.
Mm-hmm. Now, is there anything that you would like that I might be able to do for you?
Oh, ma'am, I don't know. I need, some collegiate courses in management, I think, sometimes, but, that's something I could work out on my own in, free time. No, ma'am. You've shown me enough kindness, and you've given me a direction. Could you do me a favor, though?
Mm-hmm.
I guess is Grandmammy Brenda okay? It's been a long time since I've seen her, talk to her.
Yes. Come on. And she kind of extends a hand for you to grab and follow as she starts to head into the tower.
Okay. You
And
lead,
this-
I follow.
The Somnium Tower is where dreams get sent out into the world. And you can actually go into some of the rooms that make up this tower, and you can actually view and enter and live dreams briefly. She takes you up a long way high up into this tower before stopping outside a door. And she gestures for you to enter it.
Gator hesitates, but pushes the door and enters.
And as you enter and you find yourself transported back, and you find yourself home on Akaton. And there is your Grandmammy Brenda, sitting on the porch of her home, sipping some sweet tea and just relaxing. And there's a chair there waiting for you, and you're able to step forward as if you're just walking in from having gone inside to grab yourself a nice fresh cup of tea yourself, or whatever you may do inside, and you're able to sit down on the porch next to her.
Gator is just in tears as he approaches and sits down next to Grandmammy.
And as
Just happy tears. Just smiling at her, but tears streaming.
And as you're able to sit down with Grandmammy Brenda, and she's happy, she'll talk to you about your life, and while it might be a dream for her, it's very real for you. And this is where we're going to cut it for this week. As the scene in the camera just fades out on Gator and Grandmammy Brenda having a good conversation.
Well,
Thank you guys.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
Jeez.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
I don't trust this god.
I think you just don't trust me.
Two things can be true.
Those are not separate thoughts.
These are not mutually exclusive.
Look, I'm just here giving your characters some nice, interesting moments and some backstory hints and teases. No trust. But yeah, thank you guys.
I'll do anything for this guy. She showed me Grandmammy Brenda again.
Thank you guys so much for playing with me this week. Viewers, thank you for viewing. Listeners at home, enjoy the show. Hopefully, I don't make anybody cry too much. Get that nice emotional response.
Ugly
But
tears.
have a great night.
Thanks for running.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.